is Wences. Welcome back to my channel where we talk about personal development and creating a life on your terms. And in this video, I'm going to show you 5 strategies that you can use to get out of your funk when you're feeling stuck in life. And make sure to stay tuned until the end of the video because then I'm going to share with you that one tool that's completely overlooked that helped me transition from a well-paid but unsatisfying corporate job to living my passion. Strategy number 1. You can't think yourself out of being stuck. You have to actually act. That's a thing I have been doing all my life. I had this great job, I was making 6 figures, I had a Hilton Diamond status, I was a frequent traveler, lived that life that looked perfect on paper, but in my mind, I knew this is not what's satisfying me. I'm not really living out my vocation, I'm not really living out whatever matters to me. My life wasn't what I wanted it to be. And no matter what I told myself, no matter how long I thought about it, nothing would change that. I actually had to change something and do something different to start living a more satisfying life. And even if you're not in a situation that you feel your job is great on paper, this still applies to you. You have to realize as long as you keep trying to convince yourself that it's not that bad, things are not going to change. You have to actually put in action. And once you've gotten to that realization, there's nothing holding you back. Strategy number 2, realize that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So even if you're being active, even if you're doing things, realize, is that something that has actually made a difference in my life? So if you keep pushing and you keep doing something for months and years and nothing changes, then this is not the right way to go. See, I always kept on doing things that would make people understand me, that would make people see where I was coming from. I wanted to make a big impression and I did everything in my power to make people understand me, value me, and actually help me move forward. But that didn't work. And then I realized no matter how much I have achieved in my life, how well my life looked on paper, if I go this direction, then nothing's going to change and I can keep on pushing and pushing it. But, that's the kind of result I'm getting and it's always going in that one direction that I want to go at. Strategy number 3, accepting where you are and getting ready for active change. A lot of us lie to ourselves when it comes to realizing where we're at. So I, for example, of course, as I said, everything looked great on paper, but if I really started analyzing my life and the way I thought about it, I had to admit to myself that I do not like my life. That was like a couple of years ago and I realized I don't have that many friends that I love. I don't have that social circle that really gives me something to hold on to. I didn't have excitement in my life and I didn't feel I'm bringing out anything that matters to me. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know who I was. And those are the things I had to accept. See, I'm all about positivity. I think it's a great strategy and it's a necessity in order to move forward in life. But when you're actually trying to make big changes, you also have to admit to yourself that you haven't been looking in a certain direction where things have been bad for a while and you just try to neglect it by focusing on the positive thing. That only works when the things you leave behind, you actually leave behind. But those things I'm talking about, they were always in my life. They were always lacking. They were always missing. My life was empty and as long as I was lying to myself about it, nothing was gonna change. So after you've actually accepted where you are, a lot of pain will come over you because then you realize what is all missing in your life, what you tried avoiding to realize for so long. I personally felt completely alone in the world. I felt nobody understood me because until that moment, I have never made it a point for people to actually see me, to understand what kind of music do I like, what are my tastes, what are the things that are important to me. The only thing I cared about is how I can bring value to others. And those people didn't know who I was at all. So I had to start right from the beginning. And that's when we come to strategy number 4. So when you're in that state, and I was in that state, not knowing what to do with my life and not knowing which direction would actually benefit me, I just didn't know. The answer is this: you just start somewhere. And you start with simple things like decorating your house, caring about fashion, maybe realizing what kind of music you actually like and share that with people, not being so worried that your friends don't like that. Making a statement of who you are in the world. And even simple things like this will help you determine that because you bring something out in the world that is tangible, where people can actually see what you're about. When you go out there and you show people, listen, this is the kind of music I like, and you just think, well, why should I do that? Nobody cares about my music. You're still making a statement about who you are. See, those were the kind of things that I felt that might make a difference in my life, and so I did them. I also took time out to actually pamper myself, take bubble baths, really go to massages, like really make sure to teach myself that I need to take care of myself. See, all of those things really matter because they're not just about like your four walls or how your room looks. It's about doing this with your entire life. And if you can't start with simple things that you do just for yourself, there's no way you can do it in a bigger scale. Another thing I did was apply for a job that was way out of my league at that time. It wasn't really a job that would be my vocation. I knew that from the beginning, but I knew that if I applied for that job, that would challenge me. That would give me a chance to become more of who I was. That would help me to develop self-discipline. That would help me to develop persistence. Like all of those things were something that were a possibility. And a possibility is all you need at that moment. What might make your life better? If it doesn't, then at least you know and you take all the lessons learned and you move forward. But avoiding growing because you know the next step is not going to be your last step, it's not the direction you want to go, will not help you at all. When you stay stuck in the same place, you have already lost. No matter what kind of direction you go, if you take that direction and if you take that step, that might help you. And in most cases, that will just give you information that will help you to move forward. And then we come to strategy number 5. Think outside the box. See, once I applied for this job and I got this like great opportunity that really pushed me forward in so many areas in my life, I still believed that there was something missing in my life. And that was me expressing myself, me sharing my truth, me helping to make the world a better place. When I first started, I wrote an ebook, I started this channel, and for 3 or 4 years, this was not something I was making money with. I did that because I wanted to help people and because I wanted to add this missing factor in my life. I wanted to make my life more meaningful. And I did that knowing that this is not something that looks great on paper. Well, so many people approach me and say, it's so scary to start sharing your thoughts. What will people think? And these were the risks I was willing to take, because I knew that I had to think outside the box. The box would be to stay in that corporate world, to stay in the normal sphere of what people are doing, and knowing that when I stay within that box, I will never feel like I'm growing. I have to step out of it. So if you know what you can do to step out of that box, then do it. No matter how many fears you have to overcome. Step by step, you can do it. But stepping outside of the box just opens up your life to completely new opportunities, and I'm pretty sure you know how to do that. And if you don't, get somebody to help you. There's so many ways where you can talk to mentors, talk to coaches, like really get somebody to help you make that transition and help you to get to the next step. So for a couple of years, this kind of life was such an upgrade for me. I finally had meaning in my life. I was building something outside of the box. I was acting, not just trying to think myself out of being stuck. I was actually doing things. And then it was time to make that big jump. I quit my job and I started doing this full time and becoming a coach. And right now I can gladly say that I successfully managed to make that transition happen. And the one thing that really helped me, and this is the thing I talked about in the beginning of this video, I created an emotionally filled vision board. See, vision boards are so underrated. Everybody knows what a vision board is, right? You have a big poster and you put pictures on it that represent where you want to be in life. But these things really made the difference in me because I attached emotions to these things. We don't move until we have an emotion attached to it. So on my vision board, I, for example, have a picture of Wonder Woman, like the original Wonder Woman, because that was the thing I really connected with when I grew up. This is how I wanted to help people. I felt like a warrior, and I wanted to really make the world a better place by me being a strong version of myself. But the one thing that I really made happen because of that vision board is the following picture. I have a picture of my computer on a desk, and that desk being in a beach house. And I remember imagining how I would open up that computer in the morning with my coffee in hand, and I would look at all my coaching appointments I would have that day that I would do through Skype, and I could still go to the beach. And because I had that vision, that was exactly what I was able to do this summer. I was on vacation with my family at the Black Sea. We had a beach house, and in the mornings I could actually do that. And because I had that vision of going to that place, of having these emotions attached to them, I made them more important. I focused on it. I emphasized on them. And that's how I got myself out of being stuck. Because no matter what I was doing, no matter how much I tried to achieve things, if I wasn't following my feelings, if I wasn't following my joy, I would have never been able to achieve a life that is so fulfilling, that has meaning to me, that makes me wake up in the morning and wanting to go and create something new and bigger. I really hope that helped you. If it did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And let me know in the comments what strategies you use when you feel stuck in life and what has helped you the most. I wish you a great day, guys, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.